Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be doing my episode review for the latest episode of AMC's The Walking Dead, which premiered earlier tonight. Now, before I start talking and go on for too long, please be warned, as always, with episode reviews like this one, especially for shows like Walking Dead, this will be full of massive spoilers regarding tonight's episode. So if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead by this episode or a few episodes, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be going into spoilers and story details. You have been warned. That being said, this was a great episode. In fact, this was like one of the best episodes of the first half of this season. The premiere was great. Loved the second episode. Everything else has been really good in between, but this episode, it was just like, it was tension filled. It was, parts of it were like, bit uncomfortable almost, but not like too uncomfortable. So it was like, it was very balanced, I would say. This episode was basically showing us just what kind of a leader Negan is to his people, and an overall reminder that he is an evil, narcissistic, sociopathic asshole, and just a dick overall. Like, not only, it's not enough that he is evil, like pure evil, it's not enough that he's that, but it's also like, they have to remind you that he's a dick as well, that he's just a flat-out dick. Kissing Sherry in front of her ex-husband Dwight, a long, passionate kiss, threatening his young wife, branding his own man. Well, I mean, that actually made a lot of sense to me, because the offense wasn't punishable by death, at least not in his eyes. And because we didn't get to see him do it to Dwight, and I believe in the comics there's a whole page illustrated, written, showing that, or something like that, where we see Negan branding Dwight with the iron. In the show, he did that to Dwight, but he only talks about it. So in the show, like, okay, well, we've got to show like how brutal and evil and horrible Negan is again. So let's have him brand one of his guys, and that makes a lot of sense. It was a good reminder to our main characters, like poor Daryl and poor Carl, and it also showed just how much influence and power Negan really does have over all of these people. And it was really something. Again, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, wow, excellent job. Chandler Riggs, well done. This was a great episode. And you know what else was nice too, is that it had some, not necessarily lighter moments, but funny moments. Like, even Negan, who was being a dick, had some funny lines. Like, right after Olivia slaps him, for a second there, I thought he was going to take Lucille and smack her right across the face, if not killing her, definitely injuring and scarring her. But I remembered he says he doesn't prefer to kill women, so if he wasn't going to kill her, he might have struck her. But like he said, he's never struck any of his wives, or at least that's what he claims. But I love that line where he's like, I am so much more into you. Like, I am so 50% more into you. And, he was calling her fat, teasing her for being fat. He was teasing Carl, tormenting Carl for having a one eye. And by the way, that one eye wound was just nasty. Nasty looking. Poor Carl. Damn. Impressive special effects, but that was too bad for poor Carl there. I think this episode also helped change a lot of people's minds as well. It's like, a lot of people love to hate on Carl, like it's a popular, fun thing to do. But I don't mind Carl that much. Yeah, he's done a couple things that haven't been the most popular with fans, going all the way back to season 2, when he was indirectly responsible for Dale's demise, and so on and so forth. But I like him. He's a good kid, even though he's been through a lot of shit. What I am curious about, though, is if Negan was just playing him and said that he was genuinely sorry for making him cry, and that he felt bad for doing that to him, making Carl cry, making him feel insecure about his wound. Was he just saying that? Was he just bullshitting Carl? Or did he genuinely mean it? Because there was a moment there where I wouldn't use the word humanity, but there was a moment there where it seemed like he was expressing true remorse for once, for like the first time in his life. Well, not the first time in his life, but for the first time that we've known him, he was actually feeling bad about something. Now, it's most likely he was just bullshitting Carl like he was doing the entire episode, but a part of him very well could have been serious about apologizing for what he said and done to him. This whole episode, this whole episode was just something else. Like I said, it was tension filled. We got to see a much bigger scope of the world of the saviors. Got to see more of Dwight and Sherry. We saw Negan's harem, which is from the comics, of course. And this episode storyline was also taken from the comics. I don't know how he ends up there, but I know Carl does end up at the sanctuary, and Negan is impressed with his audacity, his gall, as you will, to come there and attempt to kill him. So he actually takes a liking to the boy and shows him like where all of his wives are and shit like that. I don't know what happens after that. That's when I stopped reading about the storyline of what happens after that. But I do know Carl ends up in the sanctuary, and obviously that's what happened in tonight's episode. I was also relieved that Fat Joey, the savior with the cruel nickname, did not die either. For a second there, I thought, well, Negan is going to kill his own henchman in front of Carl because he can't or won't kill Carl for killing his two men, but he clearly wants to kill or hurt somebody, so maybe he'll take it out on poor Fat Joey, but nope, not the case. And I was grateful for that because, I like him. The character name is funny, but the character itself he's also kind of cool. I don't know how much longer he'll live for, of course, but I like him. And what I also liked about this episode is that we got to get more screen time from certain characters like Eugene, Rosita, and of course Father Gabriel. I really like Father Gabriel's transformation from the second half of season 6 up till now. Now he's defending Rick, he's insulting Spencer, and he's a much stronger man. And I also loved how Eugene was almost thanking Rosita for calling him out on his bullshit, even though she apologized for it. He, too, there's another example. He had a funny line where he's like, I'd prefer to go back to the awkward silence. I was watching with my family, and we all laughed or chuckled at that. That was pretty funny. So this episode was just really, really good overall. Of course, I'm excited about the mid-season finale, but I'm also a little nervous about something. Okay, so for those of you who don't follow the comics or don't know, Judith is way, way past dead by now. She died when the governor attacked the prison with being carried by Lori, and they're both killed when the governor or one of the governor's soldiers shoots Lori, and Lori collapses on top of Judith, killing her. So Judith dies right away as an infant. Obviously on TV, it's hard to show somebody killing a baby. There were a couple of moments earlier tonight where I thought for a second Negan was going to put his hand right around Judith's throat and break her neck or snap her neck or something. But I'm like, hard to show that on TV unless they cut away at the last minute and we see Carl's horrified reaction. But what if that's what he's going to do in next week's episode? It is the mid-season finale. Typically, a major character usually dies. And Judith may not have a speaking role, but she's a pretty big part of the show. Well, not a big part, but she does have a part to play, I think. And what if Negan decides to kill her? I mean, that would be pretty barbaric, and that would really make the audience hate him and our characters hate him even more, which would be a good thing because it's really building up the character and building him into such an awesome character that he is. Even though he's done horrible, despicable things, he's just a really good character overall. a force to be reckoned with. So we'll see. Great episode. Really enjoyed it. Of course, I also was very much delighted to see the first trailer for The Mummy debuted as well while watching this episode. You can check out that reaction video here on the EdWord. It's in one of my newer uploaded videos. You can watch it there. Thank you so much for joining me here again for another Walking Dead episode review. Don't forget that the final episode of 2016, the mid-season finale, premieres next Sunday on AMC. Check your local listings for times. And of course, the show will return with new episodes in February of 2017. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.